Hi, and welcome back to Stone Soup.
The world according to Sci-Fi Geeks.
We're once again in Cinnamon Kitchen, and we're making brown sugar cookies. Today, I'm the sous chef, and Nanny gets to lead. Go.
That's nickname family only. Anywho, we never actually even heard of brown sugar cookies till a little while ago when we were looking at a different recipe that called for brown sugar cookie crumbs. To it we went, what? So we went looking and we found a recipe. And well, it sounds lovely, so we're going to give it a try. For science!
Always for science.
So we start with 3/4 of a cup unsalted butter, nice and soft. I mean, it's so soft it's mushed into a puddle. But
I'm sous chefing.
Yes.
Then you add half a cup of white sugar,
waha, and we blend.
ever so gently, because you want the sugar to blend into the butter and not go anywhere else. Oh, look at that. That's beauty. Then you add, ready?
Yep.
A cup and a half of tightly packed dark brown sugar. Well, my goodness, look at that.
Wow.
Ah, there you go. Find the butter, it's in there.
I'm looking for the butter. Thank you.
It helps to have cooked together more than once. Okay, I think that's as much as you're going to get. It's just not going to
Yep.
blend. Okay, so,
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
okay. Then you add, she threw some out,
Hey, it happens when you're using a mixer.
especially with the bowl this shallow. Okay,
Now to that, we add 1 egg. And how much vegetable oil is that again?
2 tablespoons.
Right, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil.
And the vanilla.
Yes.
Hold on. That was 2 tablespoons already measured out. And it says 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Well,
Those of you who've been watching this might have noticed we have a thing about vanilla.
this is a tablespoon. That's only 3 teaspoons, so a little extra never hurt anybody.
No. As we said before, we've yet to find the baked good that suffered from such tweaking.
When we do, we'll let you know. Now, go egg, go. Now we're going to get something that looks,
That's better.
yeah, there we go. Do it good so the brown sugar is all nice and blended and hopefully not lumpy. Brown sugar does get lumps.
Can't be avoided.
I'm going to get rid of these.
There we go. Whoops. Very nice. After all of that, let's see.
The salt and the baking soda, which is a half a teaspoon each. I have no idea why it's only a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of baking soda, but go for it.
Well, whatever works.
Yeah. And that doesn't take a whole long time to mix in.
Nope.
And then you have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. It don't say squat about sifting it, so I assume it does not get sifted.
Nope. Typically, if they want it to be sifted, they say so in the recipe. If they don't, well, then you have to assume they don't.
Also, there's a difference between 2 cups of sifted flour and 2 cups of flour sifted.
It's an important distinction to make.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter with this recipe, but it's an important distinction to know.
Carefully. You can actually stir that in with a spoon if you want to.
It's a thought.
Here's a spoon.
Yeah, let's just do a spoon. Flour is way too easy to make fly everywhere.
Yeah. And besides, when you're blending, I know, you're doing that. Give that to me. Unplug it, please.
And by the way, anyone who says that they're too old to lick the blender,
Lick the beaters.
is lying.
Yeah. Truly. I'm 140 myself, and I still lick them.
Okay, well, it's coming together nicely.
Yes, it is. Look at that. Interestingly, the recipe says it will be slightly wet and crumbly. I'm not sure how it can be both. But
And yet,
and yet.
there it is.
Oh, yes. And we have already prepared a combination of brown sugar and granulated sugar for rolling the dough in before we cook it, like you do a snickerdoodle, because that's what the recipe calls for. I see you, you
Okay.
lump. And there we go.
Now, like
And-
most sugar cookie doughs, you're supposed to chill this for several hours, possibly overnight.
And this is what it looks like. It does say that. Chilling
Doesn't
it?
it?
Doesn't say anything about chilling it.
Oh, that's very odd. I assumed.
Yeah.
We did make a batch yesterday and chilled it overnight. There's some of those in the
In
oven
the
right
oven
now.
as we speak.
So in this case, we're going to do a second science experiment. The chilled dough v. the unchilled dough to see which one cooks better. Because we have found with snickerdoodles especially, chilling dough will get you a softer cookie.
Yes.
We like our snickerdoodles thick and soft, not thin and crispy.
Now, I have a suggestion.
Uh-oh.
You want to put some cinnamon in the sugar we're rolling them in and have brown sugar snickerdoodles?
I don't know. You really think that'll work?
Well, we can always do it with the next batch.
Okay.
So, then you make... Now, of course, this gal who did up this recipe, she only gets 18 cookies out of this recipe. She makes a ball the size, she says, slightly bigger than a golf ball.
Now,
We're
we
not
like
gonna-
a big cookie, but that's a little much even for us.
Yeah, we're going to do it more like that. Maybe a
Yeah.
little smaller, even. How about that? Boy, that is soft.
And be careful not to overwork the cookie dough in your hands, because
Yeah.
hand oils will rub off.
They have to.
Mm-hmm.
They're there. So unless you're dead, so you're not getting, unless you're a vampire, so you're not giving off hand oil.
In which case, why are you making cookies?
Because you're having Bella over for dinner and you have to make people food.
That.
Yeah.
Yes, we recently read Twilight. We'll have a full discussion on that another time. But
In October, actually, we're holding off on that.
we have reasons. You'll see.
It'll be interesting. Now, we had to adjust the cooking times because the great big cookies that gal makes, she says to cook them, I think it was 16 minutes for the soft, chewy ones and longer than that for the crisp ones. And I figure for the smaller ones, we better go for 10 minutes first, and then we can always add.
Yes. Always remember, you can add time.
And never
You can't
forget.
take it away.
and yeah, you can never forget. Always remember and never forget. You can add time, but you cannot take it away.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got the cookies already on the cookie sheet. Now we're going to stick them in the oven. I think I'll get an oven mitt because I'm so brilliant. You'll see why in a minute. And that's what they look like cooked. Aren't those gorgeous?
Yes. Now,
And now,
I just bring one of those racks over here.
yes, why don't you do that? Quick, because I need to put this down. You ready? Now,
Yeah.
see, here's the thing. It needs to cool, I think, for a couple of minutes on the rack. They look wonderful. If they taste half as good as that dough, we're going to die and go to heaven.
Yes.
Now, what we're
Like
going
we
to
said,
do...
this is the dough that we chilled overnight.
Yes. Now, what we're going to do for our next batch, we're going to do that cinnamon thing I was talking about a minute ago.
Okay, sure. We're going to wind up with 3 dozen cookies that we're going to have to eat over the next week or so.
Week, your father, your brother. You think they're lasting a week? Yeah, who are you kidding?
Oh, I was going to say, oh, what a crying shame.
Always have spoons handy and always remember and never forget that some of us don't feel the need to measure all that accurately.
Mom?
Huh?
You forgot the thingamajigger.
Why don't you put the thingamajigger back on whilst I'm stirring this up?
Dogs, what can you do?
Now, I don't know if you could tell when I tilted the cookie sheet up. We have this cookie sheet lined with a silicone sheet.
Yes.
Beats the heck out of parchment paper.
And it's way less messy than buttering it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just put the sheet down, you get the dough on that, it cooks, and you just take the sheet out, you wash that, you don't even hardly have to wash the pan.
I shall now fetch a spatula, and we shall take these cookies off of here. Once you start
put this
making
over.
cookie balls. Yes, 3 dozen cookies. They'll be so hard to get rid of.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Now, another thing with chilling the dough, by making it stiffer, it makes it easier to roll into a proper ball. These are getting, mushed out of shape.
Yeah. You have to be real delicate when you're... we may just be forced to cook all this particular batch of cookie dough just on since we already have some in the refrigerator and everything, we're having cookies for dinner
Oh my.
with cookies on the side and cookies for dessert. You know how I lost all that weight last year?
Uh-huh.
It's coming back. But only this weekend. It can't come back this weekend because next week I'm going to FinCon, which is in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Wonderful little science fiction convention. Not even little anymore, actually.
It's huge now. Well, big. Not huge, but big. We helped start it about 7 years ago. We've been on staff. We were on staff for the first 4 years. We'd still be on staff if we hadn't moved to California. It's a little far to go.
Yeah.
Can't make them staff meetings and all.
Nope. Hello, can I help you, old four-legged one?
I think this is going to work wonderful, by the way. It's going to be the thing is, I think the brown sugar is going to give it a kind of a caramely goodness. I'm going to eat one of these first ones we took out. Well, the crust on the outside. Oh. Here, have the part. Bite doesn't have my germs on it. Caramely rich goodness. It actually stood to cook a little longer. Although, the outside might have started getting,
Too crisp, yeah.
yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, I was thinking this one, too. Still a little doughy. And like we said, we haven't quite figured out the right time yet since we're doing much smaller cookies than the recipe says.
That is this one.
Well, yes. Hey,
Anyway,
but they're lovely.
yeah.
They-
Lovely, delicious,
Richard-
wonderful.
A bit richer than a usual sugar cookie,
Imagine that.
but very, very nice.
Okay, the first cinnamon batch should be coming out shortly. This is the first batch from the not refrigerated dough. So
Yes.
we're gonna the refrigerated ones were fabulous. Oh, this is crunchy. And
There goes the timer.
crunchy. Oh, this is interesting. Can you see that? Ooh, turn that sucker off. The cinnamon has made them look freckled.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, it still tastes great, but when you cook it straight after being made, it becomes hard and crunchy. Now, I know some people like that. We like our sugar cookies to be soft. We like our cookies in general to be soft.
We have lowered the temperature because we're still trying to figure out how our oven works with these guys.
So yeah, we would say if you like a soft cookie, refrigerate overnight.
Yeah. And be careful of what temperature you're cooking at.
We want you to wait and let those cool a little.
Well, we can't. Oh, oh, oh. La, 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 la. So here we go. Oops. Okay, they're still soft. Doesn't make a whole big difference.
Not really. Might when it's cooler.
Mine have needed a lot more cinnamon, but I don't know how we could have done that. I'm usually fairly generous with the cinnamon. Oh, yeah. Just shake it on. Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay, so the cinnamon doesn't add much. It's still worth trying.
And they're delicious anyway.
Yes.
So
It doesn't take anything away.
here we are from Cinnamon Kitchen. Brown sugar cookies.
Not bad. Give them a try, folks.
Bon appetit.
Ta-ta!